And welcome back to another Zat's Culture Corner. So, as we always like to do, I like to start off with a little recommendation of my own, a little something I've been playing that we can get, maybe get you interested in and get you excited about. So what have I been playing recently? Well, I bought a game the other day and it is called Battletech. And you know, I think maybe not many people have heard of this one. It's a Paradox interactive game. Paradox are the people who have made the Hearts of Iron games. They made Stellaris. Two big games that I am big fans of. I really like those games. In fact, the Hearts of Iron DLC just dropped. So, looking forward to going home and playing a little bit of that when I get back. But they make the turn-based, not turn-based actually, those are real time. They make strategy games, essentially. So, Stellaris, Hearts of Iron is a real-time strategy game. Hearts of Iron is a real-time strategy game. Stellaris is also a real-time strategy game. So all sorts of like big strategy games we've made. This is a turn-based strategy game. If you think about it in terms of XCOM, it's like a more complicated XCOM with like more features. XCOM 2 was amazing. Turn-based strategy game based on humans fighting aliens. It was brilliant. I love XCOM 2. I like the customization, customability of everything. It's really good. Customization ability, sorry. It's really good. XCOM 2 is a great game. But I've been playing Battletech, and Battletech's a little bit more difficult. You've got to think more in terms of like, when you're playing XCOM, the field of view isn't shown to you. Usually, if you can see it on your sort of area, you can shoot at it. With this, there's a field of view, specifically a 90-degree cone field of view that you have to like line up when you're moving your mech so that you can get hits in. There's like multiple weapons to fire on each mech. They have heating, like good, if they overheat, they shut down. There's parts you can blow off, so if you blow off a leg, it falls over and it stays down for a couple turns. Both legs blows off and it leaves the field. Like, there's a lot of more stuff to think about, but it's really fun because there's still a lot of customization in there. I got me and my friends in the battle. I got me, Malusi and Jamie just in there, in our mechs and our code names and stuff like that. It's just a lot of big customization. And then also you've got they different mechs that you can get, and you can build them differently. You can give them different parts. Like each mech is like a base design. And then there's also like subsections of the design. So my pilot, he drives a Vanguard, and the Vanguard mech has three different sort of designs. There's one that has like this big and bulky and is used for like firing PPCs and EMPs and stuff like that to disable and disorientate. That's the one that I use. But there's also rocket ones and autocannons. My friends, they drive in like a Firestarter and a Defender. Just like a Firestarter is a much smaller mech with like flamethrowers on it. That one doesn't have as many subclasses to it because there's not really that much more you can do with it. But it's more of like an up close and personal. You punch, because when you have any weapon that fires, because there's in each FOV, each view, each what's it called? I forgot my name now. Each cone of vision, there are three layers, and there's a furthest layer, a middle layer, and a smallest layer. And each weapon has like a select thing they prefer to fire in. So if a weapon prefers to fire in the closest thing, they can't fire in any of the others. If one prefers the middle thing, then it can fire in the middle and the closest, but it'll have reduced range at the closest one. I mean, reduced chance to hit. And then if it fires in the furthest one, like continuing backwards, it's more range, but the closer they get to the mech, the less chance to hit it has. Anything that's in the smallest cone, it fires when you do a melee attack as well, so it's just something you can get, like, if they're on, like, a bit of health, but you think you can chip away at it with a punch, and then fire off, like, all of the flamethrowers and the Gatling guns and stuff that are attached to the mech, because those are all small range weapons. That's what a Firestarter does, essentially, and it's really useful just for getting, like, some good plays in, because when you're fighting, like, obviously when you're fighting, you don't just fight against mechs, you fight against, like, tanks and cars and stuff, and they're all smaller, and they go out with one melee from any mech. But if there's another mech there, you can hit a spray shot, which is essentially where you shoot, miss, and hit something else. If there's a mech standing behind a vehicle, you kill the vehicle, shoot your like close range weapons, and there's a chance you can hit a spray shot and hit the mech behind it. Like, it's very tactical. It's a lot more tactical than say XCOM, because there's a lot more to work with. And also XCOM 2, just to keep drawing that comparison there, it has basically one game mode, and that's like the story game mode where you go in and it does have an online, I guess, but it's like the one game mode where your story, you build a base, you go around, and eventually you have to complete the game. You know, it's fine. But in Battletech, there's three game modes. There's online, there's a career mode, and there's a campaign. So how XCOM 2 just has the campaign, you can do a career mode in Battletech once you finish the campaign. If you don't want to do it again, you can go in career and stake your claim as your own pilot and your own militia. Like, it's really sort of versatile, it's very fun. It's enjoyable as well. It's an enjoyable game. It's something that I enjoy playing, and I know a lot of people aren't into turn-based tactical games, and that's fine. The strategic games aren't for everybody. Like, I love Paradox Interactive because I love strategics and tactical games, and like they make the best ones. Like, they make some really good ones. But I know it's not for everybody, but this game is really good. Like, it's really good. It's a lot more complicated than a lot of the other ones. For people who want a bit more of a challenge, it can be really good for them. And then you've also got, a lot of customization and so many different types of mechs. Like, honestly, it's mad. Like, in the campaign, you start off in a blackjack, but in careers, you get, like, 2 commandos, a locust, a vanguard, a defender, and a fire starter. And you get to sell them off and buy them back in. You buy scrap, salvage, take weapons from battles, because another aspect of it is when you go into a contract, in most games, when you do a mission, you come away with a set amount of rewards. It's like, oh, you get this much money and this many rewards, which is good. But in this game, you have to actually bargain. What they do is they give you the maximum amount of money you can get and the maximum amount of rewards you can get. And then when you go into a contract, you have to negotiate. And you basically have sliders, one for rewards and one for money. And you slide them a certain amount. And then there's also how liked you are by the two by the 2 factions that are in that area, because there's a huge map of solar systems you can fly around and do this in. There are 2 factions in each one, and you basically have gauges to see how well liked you are. So when you complete a mission for one of the factions, your state goes up with them, but goes down with the other one. But depending on where the sliders are, so if you have the sliders set to their max distance, so you have full money, which means that you would have the least amount of salvage rewards. That's fine, but if you have the second most amount of salvage and the second most amount of rewards, you've still got some leeway on those sliders. You can still move them, and because of that, and you're choosing not to put them to their maximum distance apart, you basically have more of a good reputation with that clan, with that faction. The slider for their faction, no they like you, goes up, which is really good to think about. It's do I need money? Do I need rewards? I do need the faction to like me, because I think a random event is going to come in where I need this. It's very good. It's a lot to think about, and it's a lot to get your head around. And they do recommend you play the campaign first, which I have played a bit of it. It's very good. I do recommend playing the campaign first if you do get it. Even if it's just the first 2 missions, so you can get used to maneuvering and working the mechs and stuff. And then also get used to the morale system. Because you also use morale to fire off special shots, because each pilot can do a targeted shot and then a hunker down, but it takes morale to use them. And a targeted shot is very useful when you've got a low percentage chance to hit, because it does increase the percentage chance to hit, and then also lets you pick where on the mech to shoot, so you could potentially destroy a really dangerous weapon, because they'll have weapons on their arms and they'll have weapons on their chest and on their head sometimes. So you can destroy quite dangerous weapon if you have a targeted shot by targeting the arm that the weapon is on, or the head. It's it's very useful. So if you're gonna get this game, Battletech, it's amazing, by Paradox Interactive. You get you play the campaign, just the first 2 episodes, just get used to it, and then you play the career, and you stake your claim as the captain of your own mech militia, and it's really fun. What games have come out this week? Well, let me show you. We got a couple of good ones. So obviously, I wasn't here last week, but a few things have come out since then. So it's been 2 weeks since I've last been at Radio Platform, uploaded this video, but you know what? Some great stuff has come out, so we're going to talk about it. So, Total War Rome 2, not a new game. Relatively, it's pretty old, but it is still very good. And you know what they've done? They have released a new version for the PC. They have released Total War Rome 2 Enemy Gates Edition. Now, I loved Total War Rome. It was one of my first proper PC games that I got. When I had my laptop, I went to Game, back when they used to sell PC games again, a lot of them, before Steam was more before Steam was a thing. And I bought the Total War Rome, which was an amazing Total War game. And I booted it up, and oh my god, I said that I do like turn-based tactical games, and it was amazing. Total War Rome was brilliant. And you know what? I've never played Total War Rome 2. I haven't. But I can tell that that game is going to be good, because if it's anything like its predecessor, which I would hope it is, considering it's by the same people, it's going to be amazing. And Total War Rome was one of my favorite PC games before I got my actual PC back when I used to just play on my laptop. It was one of my favorite PC games. I used to play it all the time. After I got my PC, I sort of thought, not play Total War Rome as much, because I have more of an options. I've got Steam, I've got things like Stellaris, Hearts of Iron, I had XCOM 2, Battletech for that turn-based sort of tactical itch that I have to scratch it. But you know what? Total War Rome will always have a place in my heart, being one of the first proper PC games I bought, because I had PC games before that. I had Team Fortress 2, any of the OGs remember that one. I had all sorts, but the special place in my heart, Total War Rome, it was just absolutely, it was something special, it was something amazing. No, Total War Rome, sorry, not Total War Rome 2. And, Total War Rome 2, I think it will just be just as good. I think it'll be amazing. And now a little something else that I have been playing this week. And I have been playing, I mention it quite often, but, it's a big game where I play with my friends, all enjoy it. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege, not like I ever stopped. And I'm just going to drop you a little something. I have been playing Ranked mode, and Ranked is actually, to be fair, very fun. For people who are daunted about Ranked mode, it is rage-inducing. You will feel a hatred towards all of your fellow Siege players while playing that game, I can guarantee it. But you know what, that's just, part and parcel of actually playing the game. You're going to hate people every once in a while, that's fine. And you know what else? It's good to flex your skills. If you want to get better at Siege, you're not going to get better playing quick play. Because you're not going to put up against people who are your skill level quite often. You're going to put up against people who are a lot better or a lot worse. When you are put up against something of your skill level, it feels great, but it doesn't happen very often. With Ranked, once you've placed, you're very often going to be put up against people of your skill level, because that's your rank. It is a fun game, it is fun, it's just Siege, realistically, with a ban feature. But it's more than just that, because it's more rounds, more time to play your characters. If you do main Jackal or Kavira, you're not going to get to play them. So better pick a new character now, I learned that the hard way. But it's fun. It's a fun sort of game mode. And the thing is, people think that it's like, oh my god, I'm going to get placed, I'm going to go really low down. But it's fine, because you can climb. It's how you get better. If you're placing Copper, let that be like a driving force behind you getting better at the game. It's like that with all ranked modes. When I play Hearthstone, when I drop at the end of a season to rank 17, I'm like, well, I'm going to climb. I'm going to be better. I'm going to get a deck that wins the games, and I'm going to shoot through the leaderboard up to the rank 1. It's a driving force, and it's really good. And for the new players who find it quite daunting, who are like, oh my god, this is ranked, this is a big thing. Once you've played a couple of placement matches, it'll kind of get your skill level, and it'll put you into some decent games. So it's just something that you can keep doing, and you can keep sort of playing and going through, and it's something that's fun. And it's something that lets you get better as well. That's the thing. I can't keep saying this point enough. It gets you better playing ranked than playing quick play. Or at least gets you better faster. Since I've started playing ranked, I've seen a dramatic improvement in my gameplay more than I did when I was playing quick play. And I used to play quick play quite a lot. So if you do play Siege, play ranked mode if you're of the right level, or if you feel comfortable doing it. If you don't feel comfortable, maybe throw yourself into one, if you don't feel like you're ready, throw yourself into one game, see how it goes, and if it isn't for you, that's fine. But honestly, I think it's a really good feature people need to utilize more. Something that I watched 2 weeks ago, I said to watch this space when I had just started watching Angel Beats, and there's only one thing I can say about it now. It is sad. It's a sad anime. It's easy watching, it's bingeable, and I love a bingeable anime. I love an anime that I can watch an entire series in 2 days, because you know what, I haven't decided to put it down yet. It's very bingeable, but it's also just sad. It's really sad anime. It's good, there are great parts of it, and I love it to pieces. There are some characters in there that I would kill and die for, but it's so sad. Some of the stuff that happens in that anime, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but some of the stuff that happens in that anime, it's, oh my god, it's just so depressing. The people that you meet when you're, the people that they meet, the people they talk to, and the stories that come out of it, it's a really great anime. It's so story-driven, and I love a story-driven anime as well. Dr. Stone, bingeable and story-driven. My Hero, bingeable and story-driven with a couple of amazing fight scenes in it, which is a big thing for me. It's so good. And I love those, combinations of bingeable, story-driven animes, and this one, it's just, the story is sad, but it's a driving force behind it, and it makes it so amazing. I would watch it 100 times over, and I would cry every time. I haven't actually cried, but I cry on the inside. And I haven't watched the final episode yet. My friends keep saying episode 15, the final episode, is the saddest episode of the lot. And I can understand it, because when an anime ends, it is a sad thing. When I finished Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, they lined it up for a third season that never happened, and I was crushed. I was really sad. Because that was a great anime. I spent a load of time watching it, and I wanted that third season. Every time I finish an anime, I'm sad that it finished. Noragami, I finished that, it was so upsetting. Every time I finish a My Hero Academia series, when the Fire Force series ended, when, what else was it that ended recently? It was a series. Dr. Stone, when the Dr. Stone series ended, it was crushing. And the thing is, this is going to end. There is no other series, because it's quite an old anime. And it's a sad anime anyway, so I know the ending's going to be a real, heart crusher. But I said to watch this space, and you have watched it, and this is what comes out of it. This is an amazing anime, and I fully recommend it to anybody who wants to watch a good, easy-watching, bingeable anime. Just something that you can watch just very easily, easy to get into. Just go watch it. And I know it's sad, I know I've said it's sad, and it is sad, but it's the kind of sad that makes you enjoy it, not the kind of sad that makes you want to rip your own eyes out. Now, something that's coming out tomorrow, that is Wednesday, the 26th of February, and I am so excited about it. It is the second My Hero Academia movie is getting its Western release, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. Now, the first one followed All Might and his adventures in America with his sidekick, which they do talk about in the second or third season. I can't remember, it's one of them. They mention him, but they don't give him a full thing, and that's because they gave him a movie, but this one is actually following the main characters. You know, all your favorites from My Hero Academia, Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Froppy, all of them are going to be in this amazing movie, and it's coming out tomorrow. It's only being released in cinemas for 2 days. That is Wednesday the 26th and Thursday the 27th. I'm going to see it tomorrow evening, and I am so excited. You can expect a full review of this movie next week on this show, and I'll probably even record it and upload it on Thursday on Wednesday after I've seen the movie. Like, this is a big deal for me. I am so, excited to see this movie. Because I love My Hero Academia. Anybody who doesn't know my anime tier list, my top favorite anime of all time is Noragami. Then underneath that is My Hero. It's right there. It's such a good anime. It's going to keep going. There's so much material they can do with it. It's going to keep going for, a long time, I can tell. And I'm just so excited to see what they do with it. And this movie, it's the first time I've seen an anime movie on the big screen. I watch anime movies quite often because they tie in quite a lot with the series, and they're quite useful for getting context. But this will be the first one I've seen on a cinema screen. The big screen movie experience being given to such a Japanese release, finally being released in the West. It's a big thing. This is really hyping me up as well because there's a Demon Slayer movie that's coming out this year at some point. Demon Slayer is my third favorite anime of all time. So it's a really big year for anime movies, and I'm so looking forward to their Western releases when they eventually come out because it's such a big thing. And when they come out in the cinema, it's going to be amazing. Honestly, you can expect a full review of this to be on this show next week, and even probably on my YouTube channel tomorrow evening. That is how excited I am for this movie. And you know the review's gonna be good regardless, because I love My Hero. I'm not exactly a bias, I'm very biased. But I think, I try to keep it very unbiased when I talk about stuff, but I'm genuinely, I'm hyped for this. I'm so hyped. So you should definitely check that out if you like My Hero. Go and watch My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, which is out tomorrow and Thursday, only in cinemas, for only that time. Afterwards, you'll probably have to pick it up on a streaming site like Crunchyroll. But, oh my god, it's so great. It's so... I can't even think of the words. I've lost words for this. How amazing this is for me. How big of a experience this is for me. How much it feels like it's empowered. And it's empowering me, this. I'm feeling a pride. I don't even know why. It's just a movie, but it's more than just a movie. Because it's my first experience of watching a Japanese movie in the cinema. Because I watched them on my phone on streaming sites. And it's the My Hero Academia movie. So it's such a big thing for me for my second favorite anime, this movie. And it's getting me hyped up for the anime movies that are coming out later down the road. So it's a big sort of connection and a mix of emotions. I'm honestly, I'm psyched. I'm psyched. It has come to the end now of another Zach's Culture Corner for another week. But don't forget, there are plenty of times you can listen to me. I do a show on a Saturday over at Rookwood Town Hospital Radio. So you can go catch that Saturday, 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. every week. You can go to the radio platform Mixcloud page, which basically is all of the recorded shows re-uploaded in podcast form for you. So you can go check that out. You can go check out some of the other amazing people that do work here at Radio Platform. And then, of course, you can listen to this show re-uploaded onto my YouTube channel, ZachRSP. So make sure you can go and check that out. But anyway, thank you very much for listening if this is your first time listening. And thank you very much, even if it isn't, your listenership is always very much appreciated. And there's nothing left for me to say, but I will see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.